Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of the Digital Mittelstand. My name is Can and I help small and medium businesses, so Mittelstand, to overcome their digital transformation challenges. In this episode, I will do something different and demonstrate how a simple business process can be designed using a low-code BPM tool. Without any further ado, let's start. Let me give you a quick introduction. The tool that we will use is called E-Flow. It's a low-code business process management tool, and you will see how quickly from idea to design and from design to live we will go together with you actually. And the process that I have thought of is a COVID Test Result Submittal process. I know it sounds a bit tricky, but I live in Germany, and here in Germany, starting from Monday, we will receive one free test per week. So I thought a process that employees can submit their test results so that they are eligible to go to office. I believe this in the near future will actually happen. So I thought creating a simple process to demonstrate this in action. And in this case, the employee will submit the test results. The system will check whether the test results are up to date, inform the HR. HR will check the validity, and if it's approved, an automated email will be generated and the employee will be informed, or there might be revisions, so the form will be sent back to the employee. But without any further explanation, we will in short go live and create this process together. Let's go. So welcome back everyone. So this is the tool that I mentioned, E-Flow, a low-code BPM tool. And I will need to start my designer in order to design the processes or the process that I have mentioned during the introduction, COVID Test Result Submittal process. I just need to log in to designer. Please be aware that not everyone can design. People who are authorized can only design processes. So in order to create a new process, I just click the new process card and say, let's say COVID Test Submittal. And I choose the manual starting tool because I want everyone in the company to be able to start this process. And I need to rename the manual starting tool because I will see what I have renamed here in the UI. And I said COVID test live. So I'm doing live. So I just renamed it as live. So in order to continue the process, we would need some data elements. So these data elements, for example, we would need the test date. And we have actually a variety of data elements that we can choose. And this is a test date, so I choose the date element. And what else we will need is we will need the submittal date, so the date that the employee starts the process. Then we will need the requester, who requests this process, for example. And of course, we will need a document, a test result document. So I name it as test result, and I choose as a data type, a data element type document. Then, of course, I would love to get some comments from the employee that submitted the test results or the HR representative that will check the results, so that we have a function called log, which is very handy because it's like the social media comments. So you can see who wrote what and when. And of course, I would love to have a consent that the information that the employee provided is correct. This will be a string data element, yes, but here we have some options. We can go and say hey, let this be a radio button. So it's yes or no choice. I would love to, of course, see the department of the employee. So I can say here department, and let's assume that, of course, we can bring these elements from a data source. We can connect it to a data source. For the sake of this simplicity of this episode, I will just create a drop-down menu manually. Let's say IT, HR, marketing. And at the end of the day, in order to tell E-Flow that, hey, check the test date and submittal date, calculate the difference, and check whether it's more than 3 days, I would need a day difference data element. So I just write as day diff, and it will be numeric. Because it will be a number. So as we have created all of our data elements, so we are ready to go for the task form. So that I will bring the task form tool, and as you can see, I'm just dragging and dropping. And in this task form tool, we will show the user which data elements we want the user to see. So for that, I double click that, and for the data elements, I can say that I want to, of course, see the submittal date. And I'm making it read-only because I will soon show you how to calculate it automatically via a calculate tool in E-Flow. I want to see the requester. I will do the same for the requester as well. I would see the test date, and test date will be mandatory. I will see the test result, definitely. It will be mandatory. I will see the comments, of course, but that's optional. The consent is mandatory. And oh, we forgot signature. Let's add signature. The department, I don't want to show the day difference, but we will show the signature. So I come here, create a new data element called signature, and here I choose the signature option. So we have it here ready, and I can double click it again and go to data elements and choose signature. And I want to see the consent and signature in the same row, but I want to see the department on top of them. And as I mentioned, let me save it. As I mentioned, I want E-Flow to calculate which date is the submittal date and who initiated this process. So I drag and drop the calculate tool for that. And when I double click, I can rename like set date, and I have to choose the data element to be calculated. In this case, this is submittal date. So I choose the submittal date, and here, when I go to the formula window, it's like Excel functions. So you remember the now function in Excel that brings the day of current day. So I just double click it, and that's it. It will calculate the submittal date. And I will just copy and paste this tool, calculate tool. And here I will say set requester. I can rename it as much as I want, or as I want. And in this case, I need to change the calculated data element to requester. And of course, that won't be now. That will be another function, a ready function, which is initiator. So I will use the initiator for that. And it's ready. So what I need to do is to connect those four to send them to the task form. Of course, I can choose them, align them to look better, but let's go further and let's go into the next steps of the process. So for that, we said we want HR to control that all the documents and the information submitted are correct. And for this, we want the user to consent. And we can say that with the help task here, hereby I confirm that the information provided is true or valid. Okay, and I will send this test form to HR for HR to control. But before HR, I can use a simple decision tool, which I drag and drop here, and calculate the date difference between the test date and submittal date. And if that's older than 3 days, we can automatically reject the request even before going to HR. So in order to do that, I will need the calculate element again. This is one of my favorite tools, and I will say set date diff. And for that, we need to choose the data element as day difference. And for that, we have another function, which is called day difference. And when I double click it, I just need to choose two dates that needs to be subtracted, which is submittal date and test date. So in this case, E-Flow will calculate the day difference and assign it as the day difference element. So, and the decision tool will be day difference is bigger than 3. And for that, I just need to choose my data element that I want the condition to be checked. This is day difference. And like in a mathematical expression, I just write day difference bigger than 3. That's it. And right now, the tool is able to control whether the submitted date is correct or up to date, so to say. So then I will go from action, and you see there is a button popped up, and we will just rename them after connecting them. And this button will be sent to approve. Here I use the traffic lights to guide the user, so green, yellow, and red, and send to approve will be yellow. And I want this form, if that's true, the test result is newer than 3 days. I want this form to go to HR. For that, I copy and paste, but I change the assignee to HR. And if there are any data elements that needs to be changed, I can change here. Let's say I should not be able to, as HR, should not be able to change the test date and test result, but HR could comment as well and not change consent and signature. So I say, okay. And day difference in this case is lower than 3 days, so everything is okay. Then I send it to HR. But if it's, let me move myself down. So if it's bigger than 3 days, then I want E-Flow to reject this request. So, and I will also inform the employee, and I will connect those two and say connected email, and I will just choose my mail account. In this case, it's my mail account. The sender will be HR. It will be sent to the initiator. So you can see I don't code anything. It's all automatic, and the subject will be your test result, for example, and we can write your test result from, I can choose the day, for example, this day is rejected. When I say okay, the email is sent, and in this case, the process will be finished. So I come here and say, finish the process, but I also want to change the status to request rejected. So the expression will be request rejected. I can type anything that I want, but it's a value that I type. It should be on double quotes. That's it. And here I go from success to calculate and calculate to end the process. But then we will have the case that HR have a couple of options. HR can approve this request. And in this case, I want to send the same email, almost the same email, but I will rename it to approved email. And as you can see, I just copy and paste what I did. And here in the content, I will change is rejected to is approved. Okay, so the action in this case will be again approve, and we will go for, of course, the green. And when it's approved, it will change the status to, as you can see, I copy paste the status to request approved. And I sent a, sorry, not error. This is what happens when you do everything live. And success. I save it. Right now, HR has one option just to approve this process. Moving on, but I still want to give HR a couple of more options. For example, I want HR to be able to send this form to revision. Sorry. So I copy and paste this task form and connect HR to initiator and say, and to revision. And in this case, I can go for an orange. And I can say that reject this request, whatever reason. So here I can also go to here, and it will be the same, like rejected email, calculate to set status as rejected and finish the process. So it will be reject. And of course, this will be the red. So as you can see, we have the traffic lights colors here to guide the user. But what will happen when it sends to revision? Then HR will comment and the initiator will send to approve again. So I will say send to approve, and let's make it green again. So a very simple, but we are done with our workflow. So what I wanted to show is I want to make a mistake right now, and I will quickly correct the mistake while I am showing you the process itself. I go to, for example, requester, and I write instead of requester, request step. For example, a mistake that I make on purpose. And here I just need to activate my COVID test submittal process, then it will be live in the user interface. I go in and say activate, and here this is my user interface, and this is the real processes that I use with E-Flow. I just refresh the page, go to the process that I am able to start, go down, and I see COVID test live. It is live. This is the process that we have created together live. Of course, you are seeing from recording, but I've done it live for you. And yeah, we see the process, and the submittal date is automatically calculated, and it's read-only. I cannot change this. The initiator or requester is read-only. I cannot change this. This is my name. And you see, this is the mistake that I have made. And I say, hey, I made a mistake. I need to correct this. No problem. I go back to E-Flow, go back to requester, and correct request as requester. So, but I need to save and activate again my process. When I activate again, I will see it's not a red flag anymore, it's green flag. And when I hit refresh, ta-da, it's requester. So I also wanted to show you how it's easy to correct your mistake during the process. So I need to choose the test date, and it should be in 2 days, and I could choose the 5th, so yesterday. And as a test result, I will upload the sample PDF. And as you see, I can choose the department. That's my department, let's say IT. I can comment it's a live process demo for the digital Mittelstand. And I consent that is true, and let me sign it. It's a nice signature, isn't it? And in this case, I just send to approve, and HR will receive it as a task. And here we can see initiated by Canal Güzel and assigned to HR. But as I am the admin right now, I can initiate the process as I am working in HR. And when I run it, I see that the user has consented. I have no option to change. I can not change the signature. I see the comments. It's a live process demo for the digital Mittelstand, and I see the date and time and who wrote this, the department, the test result. I just want to check whether the test result is legit. So I see, oh yeah, the test results looks very good. And as I said, I have the traffic lights guiding here, and I can approve, send to revision, or reject. And let's, in this case, to shorten this, I just send to approve. The user will receive the email, and that's it. So I did. And the process should end because the day difference were smaller than 3 days and the HR has approved. But here I can go choose the process that I want to see and search for the process and see this is started and completed today. I just need to see some task summary. For example, it took me 1 minute 41 seconds to initiate the first step. I can go and check the process data. I can view the document again if everything is correct, so that you see I can see the day difference here. So, and the comment. So, which means I have an overall view of who has submitted their test results. And finally, just wanted to show you the email. I hope you are seeing my screen right now. It's from HR. Your test result from 6th March is approved. So that's it. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any processes that you want me to design or any questions regarding the process that we have designed together or about the tool E-Flow, please feel free to contact me. And as you can see, we can start from scratch and end up having a live process within a matter of minutes. So that's it for today, as I said. And if you like those kind of videos, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.